Most tank and World War II buffs will probably know the Battle of Villers-Bocage, Bachmann's Corner, and the death of Michael Wittmann. These are some of the most famous tank battles of the Normandy campaign. Only a handful will know the story of Sergeant Wilfred Harris of A Squadron 4th 7th Royal Dragoon Guards. On the 14th of June 1944, the British 9th Durham Light Infantry was to attack the village of Langevre. In support was a platoon of A Squadron of the 4th 7th Royal Dragoon Guards. The platoon of 3 tanks was on the left of the Durham's flank together with A and B companies. As soon as the British reached a wood north of Langevre, a murderous fire was brought to bear on them. Nearly all officers on the left flank were either dead or wounded, including the forward artillery observers. Lieutenant Colonel Wood ordered Major John Mogg, his second in command, to take C and D companies around the woods. Lieutenant Colonel Wood died shortly afterwards when a mortar round struck his vehicle. The men under Major Mogg finally managed to secure the northern edge of the woods, and by noon they were clearing the Germans from the buildings in the town centre. In the meantime, the Sherman tank from Troop 4 of A Squadron took up positions in the town. A Squadron platoon leader Lieutenant Alistair Morrison took his Sherman 3 to a position near the town church. Corporal Johnson Sherman was ordered to the T-junction looking towards Langres. The Firefly of Harris was ordered to look out for 2 wandering Panther tanks, and he took up a position east of the town, on a main road looking towards Tilly-sur-Seulles. 10 minutes after Harris had taken up a position along the main road, he noticed a Sherman Firefly in the distance, followed by 2 Panther tanks. He left the Sherman for what it was and focused on the 2 Panthers instead. Both Panthers belonging to the Panzer division took the main road leading towards Langevre, driving straight towards Harris with a 17-pounder gun. Harris waited until both German tanks were only a mere 400 meters away. He ordered his gunner McKillop to fire upon the lead tank. In one shot, the Panther was immediately destroyed. A second shell destroyed the tracks of the second Panther tank. With 2 shells, Harris had destroyed or immobilized the 2 tanks. He then retreated back to a farmhouse northwest of the village, from which he could defend the other direction of the main road. In the meantime, Major Mogg personally led a Piat party to finish off the immobilized Panther tank. Later in the day, Mogg and his party scared off a 3rd tank coming from Tilly. Other parties of the Durham Light Infantry mopped up the town until they found a German tank hiding in a shed. The Piat failed to work and the Panzer managed to escape. Corporal Johnson in his Sherman looking towards Langres was suddenly hit by a shell. Only 1 man came out of the tank unscathed. Corporal Johnson died of his wounds the next day. After the Sherman was destroyed, a brief moment of quietness set over the battlefield until a message came in stating that a new German armoured push was coming from the west. Harris had anticipated such an attack, and he was already waiting for the tanks in an ambush position behind a farm building. 3 Panther tanks drove past. The first Panther was destroyed as soon as it came into view. A new shell was loaded and McKillop was ready for his 4th victim of the day. The second Panther drove past the first one, but it was hit in the drive sprocket. Seriously damaged, the Panther drove on until it had to be abandoned further down the street. A 3rd and final Panther tank decided to try its luck, but just like the others, it fell prey to Harris and McKillop, who were waiting for it. During the Battle of Langevre, a total of 9 German tanks from the Panzer division were put out of action. 5 of those were courtesy thanks to Harris and his gunner McKillop. The most extraordinary of all is that they only needed 5 shots to do it. The German counterattack stopped and the 9th Durham Light Infantry had successfully captured the village, albeit with huge casualties. They had started the battle at 10:15 AM with 590 men. 22 officers and 226 other ranks were either dead, wounded or missing during the firefight. To the north, the 6th Durham Light Infantry managed to reach its objective Les Verrières, but they had to retreat during the night. A total of 5 tanks of B Squadron 4th 7th Royal Dragoon Guards were knocked out in the struggle for Les Verrières. A Squadron only deployed 1 Sherman, the Sherman 3 of Corporal Johnson. For Sergeant Harris, it proved to be an extremely successful day with 5 Panthers knocked out with only 5 shells. The Sherman Firefly proved to be a formidable enemy for the German Panthers. Sergeant Harris received a Distinguished Conduct Medal, or DCM, for his actions on the 14th. This was the Ace Destroyer. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, you can always subscribe for more. Also leave a like and a comment down below. Cheers!